Right, so Adam Lakeland's bit of a grind that was, wasn't it, against Cheshunt, a tough side in the league below.
Very tough side, and I think we should start by giving them a lot of credit, because I thought they made life incredibly difficult for us, especially in that first half, the last 20 minutes or so. But we expected that. Look, the FA Cup, it's very rarely straightforward in these early rounds, because we were obviously the favourites, they're the underdogs, they've nothing to lose. I thought they were excellent, but I think a lot of how they were able to grow and get on top in that first half was down to us. I thought we made some really poor decisions with the ball. We kept playing short in front in our own half, and just inviting them to keep coming up the pitch, pressing us, intercepting passes and putting us under pressure. And we only had ourselves to blame for that. I thought we started well. We had 2 or 3 really good little passages of play where we got in, keepers made a couple of good saves, we were unlucky off a couple of our corners, but after that we went a little bit flat, played too much in front of them, didn't play with enough tempo, purpose, and they, I felt we were fortunate to be level at half time, for being honest, and the players were made well aware of that. But I felt second half we came out, we did the basics of the game a lot better. We passed forwards quicker, we had more willing runners to go beyond them, we stretched them, we put the ball in the box more and quicker, and we won more first balls, landed on more second balls, and just through doing the basics, I didn't think at any point in that second half they looked like scoring, and we really, despite being underwhelming today, if I'm being honest, we probably should have scored 4, 5, 6 goals, just down to things going the wrong side of the post, some poor finishing, good goalkeeping. But the most important thing today is that we've progressed, and we have.
Beautiful lofted goal from Tommy Hughes there.
Yeah, he's a good player. He's got so much quality and ability. And to be fair to Tommy, obviously Cody's suspended today. We've played Tommy as the deepest midfield player. That's not his natural position, and I'm asking him to do a role there that he's not. It's not natural to him, and he showed that quality when he was able to get higher up the pitch. And I think when we brought Sam on and pushed Tommy a little bit higher, he had some better moments again. But yeah, it was a good goal, and getting that first goal, getting our nose in front today was going to be so important, and pleased for him to score.
Really rejuvenated you guys as well. The sides really held out Cheshunt. They really didn't look like scoring, as you said, and that was a really professional effort, especially closing out that 1-0 victory.
I don't think we closed it out, because I don't think they got into the final third, probably bar a couple of set plays at the end where we've given away silly fouls. If anything, we should have gone and turned the screw and scored 2 or 3 goals, because that's the way the game really were going. It was kind of wave after wave in that second half. But I think just poor decision making, not the most clinical of finishing, and some decent goalkeeping. We just couldn't get any more goals. But I think had we scored 3, 4, 5 even, I don't think it would have been undeserved. But that probably would have, papered over the fact that it was a bit of a lacklustre performance from us, particularly in that first half. We were way off where we have been and where I expect us to be, and I think part of that's our own doing, and part of that's got to be credit to them who made it very tough for us.
Johnny Margaret's not playing today. Goals on Mateo drafted in up front. How do you rate his performance? He did some good link-up play there, but didn't get on the score sheet this time round.
No, I think he scored 2 headers that both got disallowed. I thought the first one that was disallowed was incredibly soft. We left him on because we hoping he'd get a goal, probably just for get his confidence up a little bit. But I thought he worked hard, and some of his link play in the second half was a lot better than maybe it was on a couple of occasions in the first. But yeah, it's I think individually and collectively in the first half, everybody to a man was below the levels that they've been setting and what I expect them to be. But second half, I thought we were better, but we still weren't as I expect us to be, and that's something that we've got to be honest with ourselves about, and look at addressing before the next game.
In terms of attack, in terms of scoring goals, are you concerned on that front that it was only 1-0 today in the league as well? The goals aren't coming as flowing as they'd like?
I think you always want to score more goals. I think I'd be more I'd be more alarmed if we weren't creating opportunities. Today we've created, I don't know how many, but we've created a lot of opportunities. I think against Curzon, maybe not too many clear cut, but we had 2 or 3. It's not something I'm concerned about.
Of course, the next FA Cup round awaits, but of course you're away to Hereford as well, so a lot of hard work. I'm sure you must be very grateful to get the job done here, no replay, and that to add to that congested fixture list too.
Yeah, and you talk about congested fixture list. I think we've played 8 games prior to today in just under 4 weeks, and obviously we've got some big players missing with Dylan Crowe, Greg Taylor, Cody Johnson through suspension, Jonathan Margetts. They're big players for us. I think it showed. I know we've not been at our best today, but we've got through, and it showed probably the strength of the group. It's tough for lads who've not been playing regularly to come into the team and be at the same levels as maybe the lads who've been playing a little bit more often. But I certainly expect better than I got in the first half, especially off a handful of them. And but now it's about just resting and then working hard again. As we know, we know we've got to keep on working hard, and we've got to keep on improving and developing as a team, and we will do. But even if we'd have won today by a much bigger margin, I'd be saying the same thing. We've got a lot of work to do. We need to keep improving. We've got a lot of new players in that group. We're playing a different system, a different style of football, and it will continue to take time. There will be bumps in the road and bits of inconsistency in maybe results and in our play, but I'm confident that we'll keep on getting better.
Adam, well done today.
Thanks.
Johnny Margetts, was he close? Could he have played today, or could he have been involved, or was that decision you made for you because of obviously what happened last week?
No, we thought up until first thing this morning that he was going to be in the squad and on the bench, but he messaged us this morning and just said that he'd not reacted too well to training yesterday. He trained yesterday and he must have scored 5-6 goals in the small-sided games. I thought, flipping heck, we could do with him in the post again because he looks so sharp. But look, I think in this day and age it's too easy for players to not play games of football and not be available through small, innocuous things. Senior players, which Johnny's not too senior, but he is one of the more senior lads in our group. Even a couple of days after the injury, he was determined to make himself available for this weekend, and that's the type of mentality and attitude that I want. I want lads who, the reality is that there'll be lads playing at this level of football that are playing most games through some kind of pain, knock, niggle. We want lads who just get on with it. Johnny's a lad who just gets on with it, but unfortunately his body's just took a little bit of a bad turn to training yesterday. As I say, he moved freely and he scored some good goals yesterday in training. We thought he'd be available for the bench. We weren't gonna start him, but we knew he'd be there if we needed him. But if a player like him tells me that he's not quite right, then you listen to it, and he'll be fine for. He'll probably be training Tuesday and he'll be fine for Hereford, no doubt about that. But today was probably just come maybe a day or two too early for him.
Greg Taylor, did he pick up a knock in the week?
He actually picked up a knock. I think it was at Scarborough initially. He played last week against Curzon and he had no feeling whatsoever in his left foot. He's completely numb. Thought he played magnificently against them and got through it. But again, just another lad who wants to be available and wants to get through it, but just wasn't quite right today. But again, no concerns ahead of next week's game with him.
Talking of lads who are sort of chomping at the bit and want to get on with it, Tom Wilson's coming for his debut today.
Yeah.
What were your thoughts on his performance?
I thought he was below par in the first half, and he got told that at half time. And the most pleasing thing for me is that he reacted to it, and I thought he was superb in the second. So it's funny because a lot of people have said to me, that they think he should be playing. He's missed all pre-season, and I doubt anybody's seen him play, bar maybe 1 or 2 pre-season games, and I doubt anybody even knew who Tom Wilson was before we signed him. So, you know, he's missed pre-season. He's a good player. We know he's a good player. We know he's going to be important for us. He showed in the second half exactly what he's all about. He's aggressive, he's strong, he wants to go on and dominate and win his headers, but he's competent with his feet as well. He can step in, he can play, he can knock a diagonal ball, and he's a belting lad, you know. So the first half he had a little bit of a wobble, and he's got to learn from that, because every player at every level makes the odd mistake or bad decision, but what the better players do is they don't allow it to affect the next 20-30 minutes, because if we're playing against, and absolutely no disrespect whatsoever to Cheshunt, but if we're playing against a better level of opponent there, we get severely punished in that first half, and then we've got a mountain to climb. So he's got to just learn that if he makes a poor decision or a bad pass, it's fine. It's, you know, it's the same for the players at the top levels as well, and it shouldn't take me getting into him for him to play how I know he can play. I thought second half he was superb, and hopefully we'll see more of that when he's on the pitch again.
Obviously, you've got Monday's draw now.
Yeah.
Do you have any kind of preference?
Oh, to be honest, I'm just trying to get over just that game today, to be honest. And the most important thing in the cup is that you progress. I've been involved in so many of these early round games, and I've won some and I've lost some as well, and they've never been straightforward. They really haven't. You know, and the opposition, I don't think it's ever easy playing against teams from step down, because they've nothing to lose. I think we've watched quite a lot of them, and I think today they've played above the levels that they've been playing at in some of the most recent league games, and again, massive credit to them for that. They made it really difficult for us, but we found a way, we progressed, and we're in the draw, and that's the most important thing.
Home draw would be nice again, wouldn't it?
I think we've played well away. We've played better in the last 2 home games and lost them than we have today, and we've won, and that's just the madness of football. So I'm not really bothered whether it's home or away. I think we've shown that we can be really good here and we can win. We've showed that we can be really good here and lose, and today we've shown we can be really poor and win. But we've been on the road and we've had some really good results. So we'll just see who we get. Sure, the chairman and the supporters would prefer a home draw. But we'll just see who we get, and the main thing is that we're in the hat.
He's done me up. All the questions. None left in the world.